Ms. Olympia. This is the most extreme arena in women's bodybuilding, where athletes compete with elite-level muscle mass, extremely low body fat, and the most pronounced muscle definition possible. It's the place where the absolute maximum amount of mass the female anatomy can carry is unleashed onto the stage. To showcase detailed muscle structure and flawless symmetry, competitors perform both the mandatory poses and free posing routines, essentially putting on a display of power on stage. Here, the judges focus on making sure no single muscle group lags behind, on deep muscle striations like those seen in the men's open category, and on flawless stage condition. The biggest physical and biological limit in this category is maintaining that massive muscle mass on body fat levels that drop below 5%, all while striking that knife-edge balance between feminine lines and extreme muscle density. They push chemical limits so hard that fighting off severe virilization effects like a deepening voice or the masculinization of facial features becomes the single biggest physical barrier. At the top of the names who tore the stage apart and made history in this category is Iris Kyle, who signed an unbreakable record by winning the Ms. Olympia title a full 10 times. Right behind her stand the legendary Lenda Murray, an 8-time champion, and Andrea Shaw, the modern mass queen who has dominated the stage in recent years as the category has seen a resurgence. Women's physique. This is the category where a lower muscle mass than Ms. Olympia is targeted, but serious muscle density is still kept front and center alongside aesthetics, shoulder width, and overall body symmetry. Its motto is to present a physique that displays an athletic look while flawlessly preserving a muscular yet still feminine aesthetic and flow. On stage, athletes don't strike hard poses with clenched fists like open bodybuilders do. Poses are synchronized with more open hands, designed to show elegance and muscle definition at the same time. The judges rule out any build that looks overly vascular or masculine. What they're looking for is broad shoulders, a narrow waist, and smooth aesthetic transitions between muscles. The physical limit here, kid, is not going overboard while building muscle mass. If a competitor crosses that line and steps on stage with a hard, deep, overly massive muscular structure at Ms. Olympia level, the judges won't reward her. Instead, they'll throw her toward the back of the lineup for violating the category's aesthetic boundary. At the top of the names who made history in this balanced aesthetic category is Juliana Malacan, who set the standard for this class with her incredible symmetry. Following her, Shanique Grant, who practically put an embargo on the stage, and Sarah Villegas, who hasn't let go of the championship to anyone in recent years, thanks to her flawless muscle quality, are the top names in this category. Figure Olympia. This is a category where, rather than sheer muscle mass, the famous inverted triangle body shape competes. That is, the combination of broad shoulders, a wide back, and a tiny waist. This isn't a place where muscles separate fiber by fiber into striations or veins pop out. It's a purely aesthetic stage where posture, symmetry, and overall elegance are judged. Athletes don't strike big muscle poses on stage, kid. In their bikinis, they simply perform quarter turns, presenting the judges with that famous X and V look from the front, side, and back. Defined shoulder and back muscles, tight and shapely glutes, and flawless aesthetic proportions are what determine the champion in this category. The physical limit here is entirely bound by bone structure and genetics. If your collarbones are narrow and your hip and pelvic bones are genetically wide, you won't achieve that flawless inverted triangle symmetry no matter how hard you try. On top of that, the biggest dietary challenge is bringing a smooth yet bone-dry, tight form to the stage without deepening your muscle striations. At the top of those who've written their names in gold letters in this contest of elegance is Nicole Wilkins, a 4-time Olympia champion who defined what aesthetics means in this category. And of course, Sydney Gillen, the unshakable queen of the modern era who stepped on that stage and seized the throne single-handedly by winning 7 consecutive championships, is the most dominant figure in this category. Fitness Olympia. This is the most athletic and most demanding category in the entire Olympia competition. One that doesn't end with simply walking the stage and showing off a physique, but also includes a grueling freestyle choreography performance featuring gymnastics, dance, and strength elements alongside physical form. In one phase of the competition, the judges evaluate muscle mass, symmetry, and body condition. In the other phase, they score score the flips, push-up variations, flexibility movements, and explosive power performances athletes perform on stage. In other words, having a good physique alone isn't enough. You also have to be an elite-level athlete and gymnast. Kid. The physical limit in this category is the one that batters the human body the hardest. Picture this. You've cut your body fat down to single digits. The protective fluid in your joints has dropped to a minimum because of your diet. And yet you're stepping on stage with that depleted energy, throwing flips in the air, and holding a handstand on a single arm. This is the limit where the risk of injury and joint and tendon deformation is at its absolute highest. At the top of those who made history in this category of iron will is the legendary Adela Garcia, who dominated the stage into her 40s and became an 8-time Olympia champion. Following her, Russian legend Oksana Grishina, who blew audiences' minds with the artistic, theatrical choreography she brought to the stage, and Missy Truscott, who has left everyone else in the dust with her tremendous power and athleticism in recent years, are the giants of this category.